practice is incredibly important to learning in C#. I always recommend that you practice everything you learn by creating multiple small practice projects. Once you've done that with a number of subjects, you should also be practicing building full applications. Building a full application will stretch you and grow you in new ways. It will also prepare you for building applications in the real world. Today, I'm launching a brand new course titled Build a Suggestion Site App, where we're going to build a complete application using Blazor Server, MongoDB, Azure Active Directory BSC, and .NET 6. This course is 16.5 hours of real-world content. In fact, I am using the completed application to power a new suggestion site on I Am Tim Corey. This is the best complete application course I have ever built. But that's not the best news. The best news is that all the videos will be free on YouTube thanks to the MongoDB partnership. Mongo is paying for all the videos from a paid course to be released for free on YouTube so that everyone can benefit from them, not just those who can afford it. So please take a minute to thank MongoDB for purchasing the rights to show these videos here on YouTube ad-free. There's a link in the description to sign up for MongoDB Atlas, which we'll be using in the course. Please use the link with a supplied code to ensure they know you appreciate the content they provided to you. You can also sign up for the free version of MongoDB Atlas. You don't have to pay for anything using that link. Just use a free version, which is what we'll be using in this course. Now, let's talk a bit more about what technologies will be in this course. We're going to have a lot of website design. If you build web applications, this is going to be great for teaching you the nuances of how to build a real-world application, one that looks great. Not only that, we're going to use Blazor Server, the .NET 6 version, the latest stuff, to build a really performant web application. We'll even be building custom controls to improve how the site works. We'll be using, of course, MongoDB as our database, which we're going to be using the Atlas version in order to allow us the use of transactions. We'll be using Azure Active Directory B2C for our authentication. That's a kind of third-party authentication. It's from Microsoft, but it's not built right into C#. We'll use that to handle all of our authentication and even our authorization as well. So we're doing both authentication, which is logging in, and then authorization, meaning where can you go and who can go there. We'll also be using Bootstrap 5 as part of Blazor Server and all of ASP.NET Core. And we'll be using some advanced CSS. If you have not kept up with the latest CSS stuff, this is really going to push you to grow your knowledge of CSS. We'll be using Grid and Flex and all the new cool stuff in CSS. And finally, we're going to talk about mobile layouts. We're going to build a site that works just as well on mobile as it does on your desktop. So we'll definitely dive into that as well. Now, you may be wondering why there's a paid version still if MongoDB sponsored all the videos to come here for free. So let's talk about what the paid version still gets you. First of all, you get all 86 videos. Yes, that's right, 86 videos right away. Now on YouTube, what we'll do is we're going to drip them out over time, meaning we're not going to release all 86 videos today. And in fact, there won't be 86 videos on YouTube. All the content will come across onto YouTube. But what I'll do is I'll put some videos together because some videos are short. They're 2, 3, 5, 10 minutes long because I wanted to make sure that when you said, hey, how did Tim do this? There's a video for that. Instead of, oh, I think it's in this video, or maybe it's in that video. Each video is segmented to just one thing. That way you can go back and reference it easily. But on YouTube, we're going to combine some of those and we'll just use the bookmarks to show where different pieces are. Number 2, if you get the paid course, you get all the source code for each step. Now, if you watch the Timco Retail Manager, I would put the source code on Patreon. We're not doing that with this course. That is different. The Timco course was the only course where the source code went to Patreon. For everything else, including this course, the source code only lives on I Am Tim Corey. So that's where you're going to go. If you want the source code, you go there and buy a course. Now, you don't have to do that though, because you can follow along. I do everything on the screen. You can type the same things I type, and you'll get the same results. You'll also get a certificate of completion if you get a paid course. So if you want to have that proof of, hey, I did something, and you can show that to your boss, you can show that to prospective bosses, you can get that certificate of completion. You'll also get access to the forum for this course. And you'll also get offline access as well. So if you want to watch this course on a plane or on a train or in a box or with a fox, you can do that using the paid course. And finally, you get lifetime access to the course. Whenever you purchase one of my courses, you get lifetime access to it. Now, there is also the rental option of the All Access Pass. If you're an All Access Pass member, you already have access to this course. You just don't have number 4 or number 5 or number 6. So you don't have forum access, offline access, or lifetime access. But the other 3 you do have, and you have everything right now. Okay, so why should you buy the course instead of watching it on YouTube? I'm not saying you should. You can watch every video, type what I do, get the same results. And in fact, it'll probably be better for you if you do. But if you want those extras, if you want all the videos now, and if you want to help support more free content, which is really what the paid content is all about, is supporting more of this free content. If you want to do that, then feel free to purchase the course. Now, we've talked a lot about the contents of the course, but not the actual application. So let's look at what we'll be building. We're going to build a site that can capture the ideas people have for future I Am Tim Corey content, whether that's courses or dev questions or in-depth training videos or 10-minute training videos or something else entirely. If you have a suggestion, so far we've been putting them in spreadsheets and trying to keep track of them, but now we're going to have a site where you can fill out your idea for a suggestion. This is an idea we've had and we've kicked around for a while now, and I finally said, hey, you know what? I just need to do this. So I built the application, and then I took you along the journey of building it for yourself. And so you're going to build the actual application I'll be using in production at suggestions.iamtimcorey.com. And yes, you can go there right now, but why don't you wait until I explain more about it first? So suggestions.iamtimcorey.com is going to be a site where if you have an idea where you say, hey, I want to see this, then you put it there and you make a suggestion, or you find out that someone's already suggested that and you vote up that suggestion. And I'm going to keep track of this site and kind of keep an eye on it and say, hey, you know what? A lot of people are looking for microservices. That seems to be a very popular topic. I've got 3 different suggestions that are kind of in that field, and they're all very popular. So I'm going to focus more on microservices. Or, whatever your idea may be, if you can get enough people on board, then it will become more popular. I'll keep an eye on it. I'm not saying I'll do a top 1 every time, but I tell you what, it will be a big incentive to say, hey, lots of people are interested in this type of idea. So that was my initial idea. Let's talk about how it actually kind of came about. So I turned this over to Dan, who's my designer, and said, hey, Dan, can you kind of come up with an idea for what this might look like? And so this is what Dan came up with. This is his idea for kind of a conceptual drawing of what the site might be. And this is the suggestion site where we have the suggestions and we can even track the status of them, like, hey, this has been completed. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. But you can vote on suggestions. You can see that you voted on a suggestion or not. And you can sort by the most popular ones or the new ones. You can search. You can filter by type of suggestion and so on. When you want to add a new suggestion, this is his idea for filling out, hey, this is the suggestion that I'm looking for. And then there's some details you can go to about an individual suggestion. So this is Dan's idea of kind of the design after we talked through it as a team and came up with what are the things that we want to see, at least from a version 1 perspective. And this is important, and I'll talk more about this in the course, but when you build an application, the most important thing is that you launch a working application. And that means pushing off things that'd be cool, but it's not for version 1. In fact, we had a number of meetings where I kept saying, that'd be cool. It's not version 1. That'd be great. It's not version 1. I love an idea. It's not going to happen right now. So that kind of stuff has to happen in order to keep your application lean and launchable. And so we walk through that process of what's for now and what's for later. This course is going to spend time at the very beginning planning this application, talking through what's for now and what's for later. We're going to walk through the process of, I have this idea, all the way through, here's the plan to start. So we'll spend some time there going through that WOOD framework that I've talked about before, the WOULD, the 5 steps to planning an application before you build. We'll walk through all 5 of those steps, and then we will build this application right here. This is the testing site. This is localhost, of course, but this is the testing site of the actual application and what it will look like. So we'll have the ability to go into a suggestion, look at the details of it, see that it's been marked as upcoming. Now I'm logged in as an administrator, so I can even change this to say, hey, you know what? This is actually now, instead of upcoming, we're watching it. Okay? And then that will show up as, hey, you're watching both of those things. So we can sort, we can search or filter by category or status. So you can say, hey, give me all the watching ones, which is all of them, all the completed ones, there are none. So this is the working site. If you want to add a new suggestion, you fill out the information. This is a test. And say, hey, I want the in-depth tutorial, and I'm going to say testing 1, 2, 3. Now, it's not a great suggestion, but it's great enough for our test purposes. We hit suggest, and it doesn't show up here. And that's important, and that's expected. Instead, what happens is it gets put into a queue for the administrator to review. So if you go to my profile, you'll see that I have approved suggestions and pending suggestions. These are suggestions that I have made, but they have not yet been approved by an administrator. So until they get approved, they just sit here. And as an administrator, I can come in and say, hey, there's 2 submissions, both from Tim Corey. And the first one looks pretty good. Create a complete microservice application. And I see down here that, oops, you misspelled microservices. No problem. I can come in here and make that modification. And now it's been changed and approve it. We'll leave that one there for now. But as we come back, you can see that now I have that new suggestion on the list. I can't vote for it because it's my suggestion, but somebody else could vote for it and say, hey, yeah, I'm interested in that as well. And then I could look at it and go, okay, cool. I'm going to keep an eye on that. Or, you know what? Here's a video on this, or here's a course on this. So that's the suggestion site. That's how it works. We have a number of different things, including the ability to log in and log out. I will point out one quick thing with the logging in, just so you know how it works. We're working on making this better, but it's not version 1. That is the login button. When you go there, it takes you to Azure Active Directory B2C, and you say, hey, I don't have an account yet. No problem. Sign up now. And when you do, you have to fill in your information. But, and this sometimes trips people up, you have to send the verification code for your email address. When that code goes to your email, you fill in a box that will appear that says, hey, verify this email address, and then you're approved to create your account. If you try and create your account without verifying your email address, it will not work. So that's the one kind of, oops, I didn't know about that. And so we're going to make that better in the future. This is Microsoft's page. That's why it's the way it is. But this whole system is built upon the idea that that it can be simple and yet it can be complete. And that's what this is. This is a simple application in the fact that it's just a list of suggestions. But at the same time, it can be complete in the fact that it looks good, it's polished, we've worked out a lot of the bugs, maybe not all of them, you never do, we'll find those and squash them, but we've worked through how to make this work not just for the full browser experience on a desktop, but if I pull up a phone view, notice how the category and status are over here on the right. But when I shrink it down, they're now up here in an expandable box, category and status. So it moves it up there. They're not down below. Also note that you can't really see it on the screen because of the fact we only have 3 suggestions, but the suggestion list itself is actually dynamically scrollable, meaning there's no paging here. There's no page 1, page 2, page 3. None of us, I think, like paging, but it's one of those, necessary facts of life, right? Well, it doesn't have to be with Blazor. We have a container that will render just the things that are on the screen, or maybe a little bit more, but it will scroll for thousands of entries, and it'll just keep scrolling. It'll be efficient doing it. So we'll cover that and a lot more. We'll talk about the CSS in depth and how to make it better and how to make this application work on all different size screens in a way that, my goodness, this is a very, very small phone, and yet it fits all on here perfectly. So this kind of stuff we're going to cover in depth in this application. There is a lot in this course. Now, this is just the intro video. We're going to start in on this course tomorrow. So if if you're watching this, the first day, then tomorrow. Otherwise, just go to the next video in the playlist. This video is in a playlist. If you're not already in the playlist, go find it, subscribe to the playlist, and then watch the videos in order. And we'll walk through from this design here and the idea of a suggestion app. We'll plan out how to build it. We'll build it in Blazor. We'll build it in .NET 6. We'll build it in a way that is performant, that has caching, that has a whole bunch of other stuff to make sure this application will perform well under load. And then I'm actually going to use this at suggestions.imtimcorey.com. So if you are watching this and going, hey, I'm done the video, I'm still waiting for tomorrow's video, but I had a thought on a suggestion, go ahead and go to suggestions.imtimcorey.com, fill out a new suggestion, and see if maybe you can get that suggestion in a future video. All right. And if you've left a previous suggestion, just so you know, you have to enter it in the new site. I am not bringing previous suggestions over for a few reasons, but the biggest one is if you go and look at any suggestion, you will see, wait for it, sorry, my local copy of this application I think died. But you will see that each suggestion, and let's just go to suggestions.imtimcorey.com, the actual site. You'll see that every suggestion has been asked by a specific person. Neil asked for this one, okay? And you might find out that, someone else asked for already. Brian asked for this one. I like the suggestion, so I voted for it. Well, go and leave your own vote for something and then also leave your own suggestion. But I can't bring over your old suggestions and link them to your account. So you'll have to add them yourself, okay? So if you have thoughts, come to the site, enter them in. If you are interested in this course, if you're interested in web development, in C# development, in learning how to push your knowledge to the boundaries, then definitely keep track of this course and subscribe to the playlist so you don't miss an episode. Again, please thank MongoDB. If you're going to sign up for MongoDB Atlas, which we'll use in this course, please use the link down below. That's a way to say, hey, thank you for sponsoring this content. It's free. It's not going to charge you anything unless you pay for a larger version, but there's a free version you can use. So definitely check that out and use that, please. And let them know, hey, thank you for sponsoring today's content. It would also be helpful if you shared this video and tagged at MongoDB to thank them for creating this course, or for sponsoring this course and partnering with me to give this to you for free. All right. Thanks for watching. Check out tomorrow's video to start this course. And as always, I am Tim Corey.